Hi guys, we are going to be looking at a very special horse that we are putting on the market today. I'm really excited for you guys to meet him a little bit better. You saw him on a past video that I did of showcasing the sales stables, which horses we had in. But today we're going to be taking a closer look at him. I'm going to show you guys how he's doing under saddle, tell you a little bit more about his personality, his character. Just going in here because we've gotten a new washing machine, and I've been washing everything like a mad person, and now I've got to bring it all back to the stables. We're gonna head to the stable now, and then we're gonna be talking a little bit more in depth about said horse. This is Don Letrado. He's a very sweet and cute 6-year-old buckskin. We actually got him in as a stallion. He's been gelded since, which has been a lot better for him, just because he gets to live an easier life. He's much more relaxed and calm. So yeah, gelding. He's super cute. He's quite tall actually for a PRE. He's definitely like a lot bigger than like my horse Etro, for instance. I would say he's about like 167, but we're gonna officially measure him later just so we can be sure. And he's got this beautiful buckskin color. We're transitioning now towards like spring, so the color will get even better, but you can see just how thin his coat stayed. This is still his winter coat. With Don Letrado, he came to us as a 5-year-old, so for us, one of the biggest things was really just re-establishing all the basics, even just simple things like putting him out in the field, in the paddock, going into the aqua trainer, going into the walker. Like, he didn't know any of this stuff, so it was almost, and even with the riding, he'd never really been in an indoor, so it was almost kind of like a re-breaking in process. We just stripped it all back. We got him castrated first. We gave him time to settle in. He was really skinny when he came in. I think it was part of him being a stallion and not being super calm. So now that that's all done, he's really making great leaps in his training. He's got a really sweet character as well, and he definitely wants to please. So it's not a horse that you have to keep pushing, but we'll see a little bit more about that when Kevin gets on him and starts riding. But yeah, he's actually also Emporio's stablemate, because he is stable next to Emporio, so they're always kind of talking over the stables. He's really quiet to have around. He's super chill with everything in terms of being in his stable. He doesn't have any like vices or anything bad. He's just kind of happy even when you walk past with another horse, and you can ride him with another horse as well. Like, none of that is a problem now that he's a gelding. Keep in mind, again, he is a green 6-year-old. He can play around already with like a little bit of a green change. He's playing around with a little bit of a half pass. But with him, especially because he does have more of a typical PRE movement, it's been really important just kind of slowing him down and getting him balanced and letting him find the rhythm, which he now has a lot better. I think just the way his conformation is, he's kind of a horse that naturally sits more upright. So he's got this really beautiful neck and head that sits on an uphill body, which is sometimes difficult to find with PREs. Sometimes they're built with short front legs and these big necks, but he's got a really great ratio. So I think he's going to be a horse that, even though he does move like a PRE, I think you could do a little bit of competitions with him, or you can have him just for fun, because he's such a sweet horse. Let's put his bridle on, and Kevin's going to get riding him. We're going to see him under saddle. You look like someone who's looking to either make a website or run your website on a better platform. Then Squarespace is where you need to be. Squarespace offers hundreds of already made templates where you can go in, pick your favorite one, still customize everything you want. You don't need to have any coding knowledge. It's super user friendly. I run my shop on there. I've been running my website on Squarespace for almost 4 years now. I truly love the user experience. It's so easy to use on the go as well. You can make quick changes on your phone, whether it's updating stock levels, changing text, or changing the photos as well. If this sounds like what you're looking for, then do use my link, which is www.squarespace.com/MattHarnacke. In doing so, you receive 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. So I thought I would do a voiceover for you guys because it's going to be a little bit easier. Now that Kevin is on, Don Letrado's walk is pretty good. For a PRE, especially because with the PREs it can be quite challenging. What we are doing with him, just to keep the walk relaxed and also keeping him thinking of the rider, seeing as he is a little bit green still, is we're doing a lot of changes of direction and changes of tempo. Now this allows him just to kind of keep in mind that there's someone on top of him, and it gives him less time to keep thinking of what he wants to do and turns his attention to the rider. So that way Kevin can always have kind of the idea of one ear listening. So kind of Don Letrado thinking, oh, where are we going next? What are we doing? Instead of anticipating. So he's just starting with like big circles, changes of direction across the diagonal. He is bringing the walk a little bit back, then he's bringing it forward, just doing really simple things. And I mean, with a green horse and with a younger horse, the basics are really important. And for us, we're not in a rush. So Kevin is just really taking his time in the warm-up. It's very important, especially with a horse like Don Letrado that has big movement. You want to really take your time to warm him up right. Some exercises that we also have been doing in the walk, it's like some leg yields, some little shoulder ins. But here you're just seeing like the changes of directions, very small changes of tempo. Don Letrado is still kind of getting that top line and finding his comfort in the contact. So there's moments where the contact is going a little bit low, perhaps the head goes a little bit behind the vertical, but as he's young, that's not too much of a problem. We're off in the trot. Similar idea as we are warming up in the trot. We're going to do some changes of direction. Here you can see that his shoulders are still drifting a little bit. So Kevin's going to do an exercise in a little bit of time just to help fix that. But what we're just focusing right now is getting him listening to the rider, challenging him with different exercises, especially on the long sides here. Rather than just going straight the whole time, we're starting to introduce already a little bit of a shoulder in. This is the first one Kevin's doing. So you can see that when a horse is a bit green, they go a bit like, oh, what do you want? But then as you have done it once, it always starts to get a little bit easier. But I want to be full transparency. Little half hold here in the corner as Kevin brings him around again for a circle. Oh no, sorry, diagonal. And changes of direction are really big. There's no point staying on the outside. I think with a young horse and with a horse that is green, the more you're doing, the better. Rather than just sticking to the outside and trying to get like a really fancy trot, keeping them flexible is the most important thing. Again, here, another 20-meter circle. And these are all kind of things that are also in the tests that these horses get judged at these ages. So that's kind of how we're kind of looking at it too. Now, another shoulder in, and on this side you'll see that it is already a little bit better than the first one, and especially as he starts to get warmed up, he starts to become much more responsive to what Kevin is asking. Now, as you guys saw, there was some shoulders drifting before, so what Kevin is going to do now is start to do some 10-meter circles. So this is where we're actually going to be encouraging the shoulders to stay into the circle even more, and it gets us practicing our corners as well more often instead of having to go all the way around the arena. Now, another diagonal, and we're going to be doing the same thing on the other side. Notice how Kevin is just kind of letting him find his balance. If he's going a little bit deep or if he's going a little bit high, he's just gently reminding him, hey, you know, this is where you can sit comfortably and your body will thank you for it. Another 10-meter circle, and you can see that the shoulders are already starting to respond much better to that outside rein. And so we're kind of just letting him practice things in a slower, easier way to get the hang of it. There's nothing is rushed. Now this is the first shoulder in that Kevin's going to ask to do. Now, especially after having done that circle and he felt like he had more control of the shoulders, we can now start to take that into a little bit of a shoulder in. not bad for the first one, but Kevin is going to repeat that because he can do a better job, and especially now that he knows that it's come, he's going to be a little bit more prepared. Now this is still quite a green leg yield. We're really letting the shoulders lead, but he's doing a pretty nice job, and everything is quite straightforward with this horse. It's kind of about just getting the repetition and the miles, doing all these movements, but for the rest he kind of knows what's going to be happening. And as Kevin is getting more control of the horse through the leg and through the shoulders, he's able to kind of up the exercises and try different things just to keep it fun for Don Letrado as well. So now he's going to actually change the flexion to the inside, looking to the wall, and he's going to just ask for like a little baby half pass. It's not even really a half pass, it's just asking him to travel kind of like in a leg yield, but just changing that flexion again, trying to supple the horse, get the horse on both reins. And it's just playing at this point, but these are actually the beginning steps and stages to then establishing a nice half pass. But for now, we're just making it fun. We're just doing a little bit here and there, and you can see that the frame is becoming so much better as he's being worked with a lot of leg. Now we're going to be getting ready because we're going to do some canter. Now, Don Letrado has a really big, expressive canter, so the transitions are still kind of coming together, but you can see that that hind leg is really coming under. He's got a really nice front, and what again. So again, just repetition work, keeping him happy, keeping him excited, challenging him, and that's the approach that we have with our horses. It's not about working them until they are exhausted and tired. It's just about keeping it fun, and making sure that they're learning along the way as well. So Kevin's just cooling down now, but as you guys can see, he is still super green. But the thing now is it's just about getting those kilometers in the saddles, those kilometers in the shoulder in, and finding that balance in the canter when he's collecting. So it's kind of just about repetition and him finding also his own comfort and relaxation within these movements, and just the routine of being ridden, and kind of finding also that connection with the rider as well. That's often the difficulty with a lot of horses that come from Spain. They've only been ridden by one rider their entire life, which was his instance, and they get so used to how they do it, and in Spain they don't usually do it how we do it, so we've kind of already had to reteach most of that, and now it's just about getting miles in this management and in this method of training. But he's a very, very sweet horse. He never wants to like put a foot wrong or make a mistake, but he is very green. So he's certainly not a horse for like a beginner, someone who isn't experienced. It's a horse for someone who knows what they're doing and is excited about a project like this with a great partner and a talented horse. And a lot of the times with horses like this, especially with the PREs, as soon as you start to connect the hind and kind of add kind of the passage feeling, or like the second trot where the back's really connected, you start to get a whole different shape for how they look. It was the exact same thing with Emporio. His hind legs were used to really like trail around behind, but once we were able to connect that over the back and to the lateral diagonals, then he just became a totally different horse. So with the Hello, Emporio's neighbor. Well, I hope you all enjoyed today's video and meeting Don Letrado. I know he's going to make someone really, really happy in the future. For all the information, you can check out our Instagram, where we'll have the prices and how to contact us. He is priced in a much lower price range than what we usually do because of the nature of how green he is. But we know there is like a big solid foundation to go from, and there's a nice quality horse who's so sweet as well. So yeah, for anybody interested, please let us know, get in contact. Honestly, usually we sell horses within 1 or 2 days, so if you're interested and you're sitting on the fence about it, just send us a message, because most of the time they do go pretty quick. But thank you guys so much for watching. And we are going to catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.